Hello there, this is Rom coming back at you with yet another car video. Yeah, only had one day off to do couch videos or office videos. At least for now. Trust me, I'm busy. But anyway, you can Looksmaxx and even body game or a style game all you want. You still got to have the right mindset. And I got to give it let me shout out a brother that's on my Patreon. Brother Muhammad, he pointed out somebody else talking about this. And he didn't ask me to do it, but you know how I am. If I see something good, I'll still do it. Oh, okay. Just looking at a bird. Don't mess with crows, y'all. They very intelligent. Anyway, right? I don't care because, see, here's the thing. I highly recommend, first of all, getting your looks right, letting the barber bless you, getting your body right, because I always talk about body game, having some style. But, see, you still got to have the right mindset because, see, a lot of guys who don't have those things, they think that's all they have to do. But you still got to talk to the women. And because what do I always say? A woman will say a guy was fine until he opened his mouth. In fact, I'm going to tell you what. If a guy is fine, looking good, a woman is actually more disappointed. Hear what I'm saying? More disappointed if he don't have a good conversation. Meanwhile, some medium ugly dude who do have a good conversation, if he in the right place or something, he can go in there and get it. She'd be like, all of a sudden, he started looking good to her and stuff. Look, I'm going to tell you what. You want to work on that other stuff. That's the bait. You want to work on your bait. And ain't nothing wrong with that. But see, too many guys out here thinking it's just the bait. And they don't realize, shoot, a big part with women is communication. A big part with women is connecting to them emotionally. If you want to connect to a woman emotionally, you got to talk to her. You can look as good as hell. In fact, let me put it in another way. You still got to talk to a woman. You might fix up and still not look good to a particular woman. Because, like I always say, looks aren't... People try to say they're objective, but a woman still might not like how you look. Especially the woman you want. And you can hit the gym all you want, but she might not like your body. You might be on the slimmer side and she wants somebody brolic. You might be somebody brolic all big. She wants somebody slimmer. But the thing, or she don't like your style. I don't care what you wearing. You might be wearing some athletic shoes or something, or dressed up, and that particular woman might not like it. But as of some guys will come on here and say, that mouthpiece. And all the mouthpiece really is just talking to them. You still got to have it. Now, if you want to do it right, you're going to fix up yourself, your bait, and have your good conversation. If you want to get into sex, I got to get on my Patreon. You know, I've been pushing that a lot. That's why I don't talk about sex that much. Because I said, well, I got to give the Patreon people some. But a lot of guys be messing up just with the social part. They don't have anything to say. They can look whatever. They can be fixed up whatever. In fact, I've seen some guys, they could be fixed up, have the hookup, and the woman still don't want to talk to them. Because one thing with women, yeah, they like looks. Let's get that out the way. They like looks, but they're also paying attention to behavior. That's got to be the thing. Also, you can have great facial features. You can let the barber bless you ultimately. You can have the body just tight. You can have the height. You can have clothes. You can have all of that. But if you act like a sissy, since people said I can get in trouble for using the F word, or you act, well, I'll use this F word, feminine, they ain't gonna want you. You still gotta have those intangibles if you really want to get a woman. You still got to be able to talk to them. You still got to behave in a more masculine manner. Because you can have all that other stuff. You can have the bait. But as soon as you open your mouth and she's like, oh, no. Hell, some women don't even like certain voice tones. You still got to have all of that. See, the bait, that gets them over there. That gets them over there. That gets them looking. That gives you 40 extra seconds. And I've said this several times. In fact, there was that model who I shared that video several times. You know what? I'll share it again. This model, he has said that gives you about, 40 extra seconds. You still got to talk to him. And if you don't have a good conversation, the woman is just going to be like, whatever. Whatever. And then, like, some dudes be wondering how those dudes who don't look as good as they do be getting to play. I guarantee, you heard me say guarantee, those dudes can talk to the women. You got to talk. When I was coming up, the first game you learn is to really talk to a woman. We definitely learned to fix up and all of that, but you got to talk to them. You got to have that conversation. And really, you got to deal with any issues that you had before you were fixed up. Because just because you fix up don't necessarily change everything. I see you girls. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Oh, shucky-ducky. Anyway, you gotta change up. You gotta have a little bit more. Cause see, one thing with women. Okay, see, here's where I think the problem is. Cause I hadn't thought about it too hard. Because I thought it was just something known. Men and women don't look at the same thing. See, we'll look at a fine woman and that's it. She can wear a potato sack. She can wear a motherfucking potato sack and we good. She got a pretty smile, nice breasts, a big old butt. She can wear anything. In fact, there's this woman I used to deal with. Man, man, you can set your drink on her ass, but she never wore any tight clothes. Like her clothes by themselves wouldn't hook you up, but guys, they were checking her out. She was not like a flashy dresser. She was not a flashy dresser at all. And you get some women like that, but she still had guys on her hard. She wasn't even that pretty, really. Oh man, she had that fat ass though, and those big old thighs. Thick thighs save lives. Anyway, yeah. See, we'll look at a woman. Shoot, she could just be whatever. She can just be physically, as long as she's physically attractive to us, and get our joint hard, we good. She can wear whatever. She can wear sweats. She look good to us. Women ain't the same way. Women look at everything. Yes, they looking at your face. They looking at your body. They looking at your height. They looking at your posture. They looking at your clothes, how you wearing it. They look at every little thing. They look at some shit I ain't even thinking about. Damn. Was part of the license plate I had on my last car. Anyway, women look at everything, and that's before they even get to the point you can talk to them. That's before you even get to the point. Like that video I put in the description box. That gets you 40 extra seconds. That gets you some extra time. But then if you ain't talking about nothing, or even worse, let's say the woman do give you a little bit of play. But if your mind ain't right, you still got that simp mentality, or you might look like, I'll use this term, even though, because many men understand it. If you might look like a Chad or a Tyrone, or whatever term you want to use, you might look like one of those 20% guys. But if you coming from the 80%, you still thinking about it. And there's been some guys, they've actually improved themselves, but they realized it was more than just the look. You still had to behave a certain way. Your mind got to be right. Because there's been plenty of guys, they'll fix up and look good, but then they still acting like a dork. They still acting like a simp. They still acting scared around beautiful women. What good is that shit? I want y'all to think about it. What good is it? That's why you got to get your mind right too. Now, what you should do, not a one at a time thing, while you fixing up, while you hitting the gym, while you doing body gain, while you looking for a good barber, while you trying to figure out what your style is, that's why you got to practice talking with women. What do I say? Say hi to 3 women a day, and not even just for sex. You want to get to the point where it's an easy conversation, no matter what. That way, when you actually run into a woman that you actually want to talk to, it's a nice flow. You don't have to think about it. You practice. Practice, practice, practice. You got to talk to her. There's no magic word or anything like that. That's how you have to be. That's how you have to be. You really need to be fixing them up at the same time. And really, I'm going to tell you what, just being sovereign in life. Let me throw some sovereign man in there for y'all. Just being sharp in life. It ain't one thing and then work on the next. No, you got working on it all at the same time. You might be in the gym doing body game, working out. You see some nice young ladies and they be like, hey, how you doing? That's it. That's all you have to do. Shoot, they might come over to you. That's why it's not bad to have a female friend or at least acquaintance. Like some guys around, some guys got issues with it, but you can practice talking with them. Plus, they can give you some cheat codes sometimes. They can like get you to that next level. You want to think about that. That's how you got to be. But it's not just one thing. You got too many guys up here thinking, oh, if I fix up and all of this. But if you still acting like a dork, you know what you look like to them? A nice looking dork. As I said, I've known some dudes who women said were handsome, but they were still virgins, nice guys, whatever. You got to have that mindset. Shoot, even in Nice Guys and Players, I said that. Because I said, yeah, like the Mr. Goodbar types might have that genetic beauty or looking good and all of that. But it's more than that. You got to have that right mindset. You got to be comfortable talking with the women. And shoot. And really, what some people call their shit test, you got to be able to handle that. You got to be able to like turn it around and everything. Shoot. Make sure this joint ain't too hot. You know how it gets sometimes, be in the morning and everything. But yeah. You gotta do more. You gotta have that mind right. See, a lot of you get some dudes thinking, I don't know what's wrong with them. You get some dudes thinking, oh well, I don't need the mindset. I just need to look good. These dudes ain't there because if you talk to an actual Chad, you talk to an actual Tyrone, they'll tell you. They'll tell you. In fact, let me just go on something. I could do another video on it, but you know how I go on the flow here. Why don't y'all talk to some actual players, some guys getting it? They'll tell you all that stuff. They say, nah, they lost some woman because they ain't have a good conversation. Or they ain't click with the personality or something. Looking good, just get them over there. Looking good, just get you another minute. Or as the dude Brett say in the video that I shared, get you another 40 seconds. That's about it. But you want to be to that point, you can close the deal. You know what? It's like, here's an analogy. Say you go into a car dealership. You like this car. It's looking good. It's shiny. It's looking good, late model. But then you go on a test drive and it got all these problems with it. Now, looking good might, if you, only time that you can look good and not have everything else, if you at some party or you in some situation where you can get a quick hit from the woman. Y'all can go to that bathroom, you at a party, you might get some woman to slob you down. Now, if that's what you want, okay. All right, you don't have to do much else. But let's be real. I got guys hitting me up. They want a bit more from the women. And that's fair. That's fair. A lot of guys, shoot, they looking for pair bonding and all of that. Okay, if you want a pair bond with the woman, all the guys that want a pair bond, you can't do it just off your looks, that gets them over there. You gotta talk to them. You gotta click. Because here's something else too. You trying to be with them longer term, you trying to be in a relationship with them, then you gotta be able to talk to them. Because after a while, she'll get used to your looks. It's just like a man. They'll see a woman, yeah, we like beautiful women, but how many men have seen a beautiful woman, but then after getting used to it, be like, hey, whatever. That nose ain't as pretty as you thought it was, cute as you thought it was. Those breasts weren't as nice as you thought they were. I want y'all to think about that. Because once you get used to somebody, I don't care how good they look when you first meet them. Once you get used to them, you talk to them, you learn their personality, you be like, whatever. It's like Eddie Murphy said in the legendary Raw. Now, I always talk about Jackson St. Jock, but he also talked about if you wait too long to have sex with a woman. And like you wait on it, shoot, that'd be the best pussy you ever had. Be like a Ritz cracker. You be like picking your teeth, everything. That was some good stuff. That's because you waited. But then after a while, it becomes a plain old saltine. That's how it is. That's really just how it is. So when you fixing up, okay, fine, but then you gotta fix your mind up. You gotta be able to talk with them. You gotta act like, because I'm gonna tell you what, and I've said this several times before, I'll probably say it again. The biggest difference between select and non-select, or Chad and Tyrone, or alpha, beta, is just mindset. It's the mindset. Because think about it like this. All right. You used to chasing women, right? You're one of those guys, chase women, simp, do all that shit. And you still fix up, and some women showing it. But you haven't got that chasing women out of your system. You ain't got the simp out your system. And if you chasing a woman, but you looking good, all you are is a good-looking simp. And then I'm going to tell you something with women. If you good looking, you chasing a woman too much, they think something wrong with you. They're like, what's wrong with him? Seriously, that's what women are thinking. You looking all good, got your face looking good, got the body looking good, got your style, but you still acting like a simp around women. The first thing a woman's gonna be like, wait a minute, this dude looking good, what's wrong with him? They will say that. Because one of the things is when women deal with a guy looking too good, they look for faults. Indeed, that's why sometimes a medium ugly dude can get a woman easier, because in a woman's eyes, a medium ugly dude, he already medium ugly. He already don't look like all that. So she will give him points for every good thing he does. But if a guy looking too good, he got it all together, she looking to take points away. She looking for any faults in him or anything. She's looking. So you got to think about that. So you got to change your mindset. So even if you fix up, you fix up on the outside, you still got to fix up on the inside as well. Ain't no ifs, ands, and buts. And I know some guys don't believe that because you ain't been there. Because I was saying, maybe I'll do another video on this. Those guys at the top, they really are they just got a different mindset. You ever meet one, or actually talk to one? If you know one, just ask them. Just get them in a good conversation. They're going to see stuff differently. Now, if you lucky, even though I say you still got to be yourself, you got to kind of learn from them what they doing. And they ain't chasing women like that. They sitting back chilling. And they can get away with it. Because that's all they know. That is all they know. Yeah. So anyway. Stop in here. Always got some place to stop, y'all. But that's how you got carried. So basically, yeah, you fixing up on the outside, but you gotta fix up on the inside. Ain't no ifs, ands, and buts to it. You gotta get your mind right. And if you a person don't think you gotta get your mind right, I already know you ain't select anyway. It's usually some guys who thinking, oh, that's it. But I put it like this: how many dudes have been around or Chad and Tyrone when they in the bedroom? They don't know what that dude's saying to the woman. They might see some outside shit, but you still gotta have that conversation. Indeed, sometimes some women, they get to the point, if that dude say, he might look as good as hell to him, but he say something stupid or do something stupid, women will say, instant dryness. You don't want that, seriously. Many guys will turn off a woman just with their conversation, no matter how good they look. I want y'all to keep that in mind. And understand that level of the game. Shoot, the looks, everything, that just get them over there. Even body game, you can turn them on. Now, I'm always going to push body game. That does turn a woman on, but you can turn them off as soon as you open your mouth. And you got to be thinking up here. You got to have it right up here. Indeed, I would say you can't, a lot of times what happens is guys, good-looking guys, will blow it. Indeed, that's why so many guys are talking about handsome man game. They're like, everybody call me handsome. Now, I don't know if they actually handsome or not. That's up to a woman. But they can't figure out what's happening. It's like, no, you blowing it. Because you got some guys, it's just like you can go to a place where there's a bunch of women and you just sitting around thinking that women just going to approach you. Yeah, it don't work that way. Still got that conversation. Now, you can't approach the same way as some simp-ass motherfucker will. But you still got to keep in mind what you're doing. You still got to keep in mind where you going. Alright, let this dude get past. Go in here. I gotta get something. Always gotta get something, y'all. Anyway, I want y'all to think about that. Yeah, you want to fix up on the outside. You do want to do that. I ain't dissuading you from that, but you gotta fix up here too. Alright? So anyway, that's all I got for now. I get back with y'all. Peace.